My dear students, I hope till now you have understood about what is a cell and the types of organism depending on the number of cell present in the body. Today I am going to discuss about a very important topic related to cell, that is the cell wall and the cell membrane. Now a cell, either a prokaryotic or an eukaryotic, is surrounded by an outer covering. This outer covering is called plasma membrane or plasma lemma or cell membrane. Eukaryotic cells possess intracellular membranes which surround vacuole and organelles. The plasma membrane and the subcellular membranes are together called biological membranes. After the development of electron microscope, it was found that all biological membranes were formed from three layers, that is trilaminar structure. The two outer layers made up of lipid and the inner layer made up of protein. This led to the development of unit membrane. Now let's discuss about the structure of the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is ultra thin, elastic, living and selectively permeable membrane. The thickness is about 70 angstrom, that is 7 nanometer. The thickness of this plasma membrane appears as a line under the microscope. The plasma membrane is basically composed of lipids, proteins along with small fractions of carbohydrate and polysaccharides. Phospholipids constitute approximately 75% of the plasma membrane and it is the key element. With the help of electron microscope, it appeared to be a three-layered structure. Now let's discuss about the fluid mosaic model. The fluid mosaic model was proposed by S. J. Singer and G. Nicholson in the year 1972. According to this model, the plasma membrane or cell membrane is made up of a lipid bilayer and two types of protein molecules, the intrinsic protein and the extrinsic protein. The lipid layer consists of phospholipid and constitutes highly viscous fluid. The intrinsic protein are found completely inserted in the lipid bilayer, while the extrinsic protein are found superficially either on the outer surface or on the inner surface of the lipid membrane. The presence of the lipid and the protein provide flexibility to the plasma membrane. This model of plasma membrane was named fluid mosaic because it looks like a number of protein icebergs floating in the sea of lipids. The protein present in the membrane act as enzymes, transport proteins, pumps and receptor proteins. This model is most accepted because it provides a satisfactory explanation of the structure and function of the plasma membrane. Now let's discuss about the functions of the plasma membrane. Individuality of a cell is maintained by the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane provides shape to the cell. It protects the cell from injuries. It acts as a channel between the inner cell materials and the surrounding outer environment. It allows the entry and exit of selected substances and thus it is known as selectively permeable. The plasma membrane binds all the cell organelles together within the cytoplasm. The junction of the plasma membrane keeps the cell together. The flexibility of the plasma membrane helps the cell in intake of food and other materials, which is termed as endocytosis. Now, as we have discussed that the plasma membrane is selectively permeable, what is the advantage of it? Selective permeability of plasma membrane enables the cell to maintain homeostasis. What is homeostasis? It is the maintenance of the constant internal cell environment. Plasma membrane also ensures the entry of only useful molecules in the cell. Other harmful or poisonous substances are prevented at the entry site. Useful metabolic intermediates remain inside the cell. It removes only secretion and metabolic waste from the cell. Now the question is, how do materials get transported across the membrane? Well, there are three mechanisms: passive transport, active transport, and bulk transport. In passive transport, energy is not spent, but this process is slow. Passive transport is again divided into two types. They are diffusion and osmosis. Active transport is the process where energy is required, and this process is rapid across the cell membrane. Energy in the form of ATP is utilized. And the third process is bulk transport. This involves transport of large molecules of substances across the membrane. By utilizing energy for transport, special processes are involved. Bulk transport is again of two types: endocytosis and exocytosis. Now the next topic is cell wall. The plasma membrane is surrounded by an additional covering called cell wall in plant cell. The cell wall is also found in bacterial cell and fungal cell, but it is absent in animal cell. The cell wall is a non-living, rigid structure which is secreted by the cell itself. It is a completely permeable membrane, unlike the cell membrane, and protect the plasma membrane and the internal component of the cell. It also separates one cell from the other cell. Now, what is the composition of the cell wall? The primary cell wall is made up of cellulose in plants, which is a type of fibrous polysaccharide, a type of carbohydrate. The cell wall possesses narrow pits by which the cytoplasmic strands pass and which are called the plasmodesmata. What is the role of plasmodesmata? It is to exchange the materials between the adjacent living cell contains. Now, what is the function of cell wall? The cell wall maintains the shape of the cell. It provides protection against injury and prevents desiccation of the cell. It also provides mechanical strength and support to the cell. So my dear students, it was all about cell membrane and cell wall, their structure and function. In the next video, I will discuss about the three types of solution that are hypotonic, hypertonic and isotonic. Hope you understood the video and got some idea about cell membrane and cell wall. Stay tuned with me. Till then, take care. Goodbye.